Well, what did you do during the pandemic? One local cartoonist has quite an answer to that question.
She used the materials at hand to chronicle a year none of us will ever forget. And the materials at hand just happened to be toilet paper rolls.
I felt so isolated and alone during the pandemic.
Didn't we all? Barbara Dale spent her alone time here in her Baltimore studio. You've seen Barbara's well-known work, the Stanley Family comic strip, Dale cards and merchandise, and on and on. Her latest creation came early in 2020 after a bad car accident.
And I was kind of in a fog, and I came up into the studio.
And she spotted a bin of toilet paper tubes.
Pulled them all out on the floor and said, what form does COVID take? And it became moment, and endless succession of moments.
Nearly 200 moments, each tube documenting a moment in a year where everything was topsy-turvy.
For some bizarre reason, I dreamt about Danny DeVito. Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies the next day.
Black Lives Matter, is that here somewhere?
Right over here. Remembering George Floyd, Black lives do matter. One of my favorite moments was, remember Giuliani's hair drip? Boy, what a visual that was. The moment I saw it on television, I went, that is a toilet paper tube.
The cicada invasion? Oh, it's there. Barbara getting COVID tested and vaccinated. And of course, Bernie's there.
It was just playing. And then all of a sudden it took shape and I went, oh, this is interesting.
Word got out among fellow cartoonists. Nathan Gamble, cartoonist for The Simpsons, decided to contribute.
He sent me the Gamble family sampler of toilet paper tubes. People have sent me rolls from New Mexico, Arkansas, California, Florida, in the mailboxes. It's really nice. It's really nice. Talk about supporting the arts, you know.
This is an art piece, but you're done. There's no more toilet paper.
Well, here's the thing, Denise. You know, we have the Delta variant.
No. Let it all in.
Yeah.
All right, so Barbara's had some museum curators, other artists looking at the piece, figuring out how are we going to mount it, how are we going to display it. Hopefully it'll happen so that you can see it. For now, she does have a BarbaraDale.com website and a Facebook page if you want to look more.
That was amazing, and I bet it was very therapeutic for her.
Oh, absolutely.
To get it all out.
Absolutely.
That's a lot. I love that, though.
Okay.
Well done, Denise.
Well, thank you. Well done, Barbara.
Well, here we are. Now it's 2023. I'm standing in front of my toilet paper tube piece. It's about to be shown at the Peale Museum just as I always imagined it, in one long line, over 23 feet long. So it will take you a while to go through the piece, just like it took us a while to go through COVID. And just like COVID sort of continued, and here we are still dealing with it, but less, the end of my piece in 2022 predicted that, because you go from the big dots to the little dots like it's just fading out, but not fast enough for all of us.
This is a newer ceramic artwork that you made.
Yes.
Like most of your ceramics and your mugs and everything, there's language all around. Oh wow, I can see handprints on this.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And then the rings are really cool. I'm always mystified on how someone could do that. That is incredible.
So I made these because of the pot that your aunt gave you. When you took me through your studio, they were loose like this. And that gave me the idea to do this. And she's a, you know, like a sassy woman. See the body language? No, she's got attitude.
Incredible. And this one also is similar in that it's a body.
Yeah, the idea is that my professor told me that when you're working in clay, you have to always be cognizant of the abstract idea of the vessel. And when I kept thinking about vessel, inside, outside, surface, I always think about women, because we're the ultimate vessel. We create and grow life.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
That one's called expecting. This is what, you know, when you're pregnant, you feel very full and you feel very round. And you know, I tried to get all of the positions all the way around, like from the front, from the back, from the sides, and then all these little babies, and all this stuff, like the nucleate stuff moving around like that, it's all umbilical cords.
Wow.
My favorite part is the bottom. I don't think you ever saw this. If you turn it this way a little bit, you see the baby coming out the hole on the bottom.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. Dale 22.
Yeah,
For Andy expecting.
yeah.
That's so
Because he was the one inside of me.
And what type of, this is glazed?
That is glazed. I bisqued it, then I painted the black stuff on it, and then I put a glaze over it and fired it again. I think that was fired 3 times.
Wow.
So these are about the senses. You know, we've talked about the fragility of life and the life cycle and the other pieces. Now we're talking about what it's worth living for. Eating, right? Eating. So I'm in love with eating, all the senses actually. And this particular piece is my homage to homosexuality.
So Barbara,
Yep.
these two are also in the eating category, and these are also the pastels from France.
Yes.
On what kind of paper?
Pastel paper.
Pastel paper. So it's handmade rag paper, basically.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at the
It
edges.
is, no doubt.
This one
All
over
right,
here
that's
is
the
one
craft.
of my favorites, yeah.
Why is it one of your favorites?
Because it's about frustration. And I think it really, you know, it nails it.
You ain't lying, look at the hair. I was like, yeah.
Right, because that's what those zigzags are for.
Yeah,
right? They
it
create
shows
anxiety.
it. Yeah, it shows it.
This is my faux family. I was living in Baltimore and I didn't have any family who lived here, and I felt lonely, so I decided rather than just feel sad, I would make my own family. So I have 2 sides to my family, and by the way, my family are a family who never criticize, borrow money, or die. One side of the family is when the Wrangler, Buck Chester, met Guba L, the alien from Area 52, is that the area? Not sure, in New Mexico. And together they had baby Buck Chester, and there were uncles, these are my uncles, and they're all green except for him, he's blue, he's adopted. And then the other side of my family starts with Herbert. Herbert, he's from Manchester, England. It's a family of cross-dressers. And that's Herbert, and here is my great aunt Pauline, right here. And this is when Pauline went to the prom. This is a one-of-a-kind artist book. I made it at the American Academy of Bookbinding in Telluride. If you look at the outside of the case, you see the presidential seal. And instead of the eagle holding arrows in his hands, he's holding a screaming naked woman and a big bag of money. And then, if you open the case up, you see the golden book and the golden case, and you pull the book out, and now you see Donald Trump. It's called the meal. With his little tiny hands, he's holding utensils, and inside the book, he eats the United States. The very first Dale cards. This was my second catalog. I actually got that printed. I think my first catalog, and we're talking 1978. My very first card, this is later years because look, here is the size of what the cards were. This is the very first Dale card. And it's got this little old man in a chair and he says, "Happy birthday. When people ask you how old you are, tell them what I tell them." it's none of your fucking business. So this card, when we got acquired by Recycled Paper Products, this became the #1 card in their entire company, which was then the 3rd or 4th biggest greeting card company in the United States. So, you know, people like this one. And this is from April 1981. This is when I guess the cards kind of took off.